Hey everyone,
By the
welcome
way,
to project call number 8. We're happy to have you back. We have a few things to go over today. We're going to let Dragos kick it off with some updates about the Treasury page.
yep. Hey everyone, and thank you very much, Mark, for the segue. So we're gonna do a new release of the frontend app. We will ship out, well, the DAO frontend app to be more specific, because we're having like multiple apps here, but it's all under one hood. So to be more specific, we're gonna like put a Treasury page up there for the DAO. So that's gonna be live either there today or tomorrow morning. And more importantly, and I think that's where everyone gets excited, the airdrops is going to go live as well. And I'm gonna like let you, Mark and Ryan, talk a little bit more about those dynamics. So back to you.
Thank you, Dragos. I'll start off on the airdrops and just kind of retouch base on the dynamics of it, just because we want to be super clear with everyone, and we'll end up releasing some articles over the next few days just so everyone can get their information however it is they absorb it. Look to Medium for an article for how that's going to work. Basically, you can only claim one time. Once you claim, you basically remove yourself from the pool. So there's no claiming twice. It's not like the yield farms where you can claim every week. The airdrop is going to be completely different. The longer that you stay in and the more that people exit, the more tokens you'll accrue. But, you know, if you want to leave early, it's whenever you hit that claim button, you're completely done in the airdrop. So what you get, what you see there is what you get. And, you know, we just want there to be no confusion that there's, you know, there's only one claim for the airdrop, you know, so we'll clearly state that in the article that we release, and we'll make tweets and we'll make sure we remind people in Discord, but we just want everyone to know that this is not like the yield farms where it's a claim every week. It's one claim and you're done forever. So I think that's the main important thing. And then I'll let Ryan kind
Everyone, one claim and you're done forever. You cannot claim weekly. You claim, if you stay in the opium contracts, you will be rewarded. If you claim, you will be penalized early. So it's one claim and you're done forever.
Yeah, one claim. And then I think Dragos mentioned the airdrop is going to go live Monday, which for us is like late Sunday night, which is like 8 p.m. Sunday night for us on the Eastern United States, but that's Monday, 12 a.m. UTC. And we are extending the airdrop to 100 weeks. I think we mentioned this on the last project call, but our original plan was to do the claim theory for 20 weeks. We extended it to 100 weeks for security reasons, so that we didn't, so that there was no like security risk with the DAO being like having a coordinated attack because of how many tokens we released. So for cautious reasons, we just wanted to extend that. And we personally think that it makes it a little bit more fun. And it actually matches up with a lot of like the rest of the tokens being distributed, so it works out well. And then I can kind of just go over, just to reiterate that the Polymorph holders are getting 3% of this airdrop, and that was taken from a snapshot a few weeks ago when Tyler released a Medium article about the Polymorphs and announced that airdrop. Discord airdrop is now 3%, and that is a snapshot from late February that people put all their information in and confirmed their addresses. So those people know who they are. And then there's 2% goes to the original bidders of the Pepes. So those people all know who they are. At this point, you basically know if you're getting an airdrop or not. So, and that airdrop is going to be claimable on the yield farming page. And all that information on how to claim the airdrop will be in the Medium article as well. So I'm going to pass it over to Ryan and let him kind of give an update on the auctions and minting platforms that we've been reviewing. So, Ryan.
Hey guys, before I jump right over into the auctions, I just want to add one more thing for the airdrops, and it's that there is that 100-week period where there's a bonus, but you can still claim for another 69 weeks after. So you don't have to worry about like trying to time it at like the very end to be the last one out. Once that 100 weeks is up, you could just wait those 100 weeks and then claim immediately after, or if you forget about it, you still have a year grace period to get your tokens out of there. So there's no reason to be super concerned with anything on that front. Okay, airdrops out of the way. Everyone's super excited.
Hold on.
Yes, go ahead.
Thing. You can just like go to the DAO page and you're just gonna see your like XYZ tokens go up right there. So, you can do that like every hour, every day. So for 100 weeks. So good luck. Go ahead, Ryan.
Like the Zapper refresh button, people are like, I gotta get my XP.
Wait, are airdrops an elaborate yield form? What? Okay. Auctions and minting. So we've been working on the auctions contract for a long time now, almost 6 months. And we are happy to say we're starting the internal code audits of this the smart contract. It's literally 0.1 kilobytes smaller than the maximum contract size. So it is action-packed, full of features, and we're really, really excited about it. Once we finish up the internal audits, we'll over at Certic, have some back and forth, and we'll be able to actually launch this, and you guys will be able to use Universe as a minting and auctions platform, and eventually also marketplace. But for now, you guys are real close to getting auctions and minting. I don't have too much else I want to add there since we're not going over the auction mechanics today, but we're super excited for this.
Yeah, next call we'll probably dive in pretty deep into the auction mechanics, because hopefully we should be pretty timed up to or hopefully we're close to getting everything ready by then. So we'll talk more about that on the next call. Next thing we want to talk about is rarity charts. One thing that we want to talk about here, and I'm going to let Al, Nick, and Ryan talk mostly about this, but we ended up having to develop our own rarity charts. The community started working on this, and it looked like Rarity Tools just told us that their platform wouldn't work for us because the properties are always changing. And so basically we had to kind of go and figure out how to do that ourselves. And I'll let Ryan, Nick, and Al kind of talk about this because they had a lot larger part in discussing this and getting this all planned out. So whoever wants to kind of talk about this.
Yeah, I can start, and then the boys can jump in and give more details as they feel necessary. So one thing I do want to note off the bat is that not only were we unable to use Rarity tools because they can't handle the dynamic rarities, the other kind of issue is that the rarities don't work the same as they do in other projects. It's not like a percentage rarity. So some traits aren't like 2%, others are 6%. Everything might seem rare if you look at it, but that just means nothing is rare. So we have this like really elaborate rarity system that we came up with, and it basically models your rarity exponentially. It's really cool. It has like a nice formula that you can actually already see in a Google sheet that's been tossed around the community that everyone's getting really excited about. And that essentially takes into account how many matching traits you have in a set as kind of the base of that. And then you have a bunch of different possibilities for it to scale higher or lower, depending on what type of set it is, or whether it's a virgin, whether it's a complete set, whether it's a complete set with or without color mismatches. So there's a whole bunch going into this. Note that this rarity score is not finalized. We're still working it out. So if you're going on OpenSea and trying to ape into the ones that you think match the highest formula kind of rarity, you may not end up with actually the calculation that you're making right now. So just do please keep that in mind. But it is exciting, and the back end is coming together. We have front end designers putting together a leaderboard, and then a whole bunch of other places that we're going to be kind of taking advantage of this rarity system across the front end and in kind of the entire polymorphic universe.
I think one important thing to mention too, or just repeat, that Ryan said, is that, you know, in that formula is that no item is really valued more than the other. But like the combination of items may have like stronger rarity than the other. So like consider that like every torso is gonna have like +1 or something. Like not like one piece of armor isn't gonna have more than the other piece of armor. But like the combination is more what makes it rare. On the, from what I understand, on the equation that they've built.
No, that's absolutely correct. Thank you, Mark.
Also, being virgin and being like non-scrambled, and then being like naked.
Yeah, there's some bonuses for that too.
We're trying to stay very unbiased, though, but from general community discussion, we've realized that like the nakeds and the virgins are going to become rare and sought after in the future. So
yeah, and like I think one point too is like it makes it extremely hard to like the polymorphs, so many of them have so many traits. Like our equation would give like a naked polymorph maybe like a 0 trait, but I think no trait is a trait. So like maybe having all the no traits, I'd have to run the math on that just to make sure that that works. But we're just really trying to figure out. It's kind of more complicated than we had originally.
yeah, another point to point out is that it's still a work in progress. Like that Google Doc that is in the that's floating around the Discord is like a public document. You can make a comment on it and we can change it if the community seems to like the comment. So
yeah,
check it
and
out.
the community has been helping. I'm pretty sure like the people who started on the Rarity tools was the community. So like shout out to the community on that for like kind of pushing us to kind of help with that. Because once we found out that Rarity tools couldn't handle, or I wouldn't say that they couldn't handle it, they just couldn't support it. Because like shout out to Rarity tools, what they do is really cool. What?
Rarity tools straight up said no. Like
yeah,
doesn't fit our format. Shout out to Ryan for spearheading this with the community, and shout out to Nick for driving in the final hammer. Nick did the hardest work of it all. He went through and color court Nick and Ryan, but
and Allie helped a lot too.
Yeah, shout out to the community. Shout out to Nick, Ryan, and Allie. But we're dropping unique rarity tools because it's a unique drop.
The rarity tools that we drop are going to show people how rare stuff is based on how well their traits match. It's just pretty as much as simple as that.
Allie, do you want to talk to us a little bit about the polymorph lore that got released over the last 2 weeks? It was a good bit of information. I'm not sure everyone is in the Discord, or I'm not sure if we posted that lore anywhere. I think we posted it on Twitter.
Yeah, I posted it on Twitter. I think before we talk to the community about lore, I think that we have to have an internal conversation today or tomorrow, that we have the other drop with all the characters. We've got a couple things coming out, and there's been additional stuff that we've worked on since that happened. So I think we
We're just
Wait.
talking about the polymorph lore. We're not talking about the OG character lore.
But even the polymorph lore is going to get affected by the additional things that are coming. So I think before Ali can talk about it publicly. I just want to make sure that everyone knows it's in flux because we're fleshing it out, and it's probably going to change a little bit because of like the fact that we're working on like burn to mint contracts and the potential that the OG characters could get looped into. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know how it's going to play out. All I'm saying is that the lore is in flux in changing because the project, everything's getting upgraded and is changing. So we're making Ali's job really hard, and I don't want him to commit to anything on this call until we flesh everything out.
With that
Up to you.
said, I reviewed the some of the changes with Algae yesterday, and it does not seem like some of the new exciting things we're building that I will not be alpha leaking as much as some of you are now expecting me to alpha leak stuff will not conflict with the existing lore, at least for now.
All right,
That's
well, then
obviously subject to change.
Let's let Ali pop off. I saw someone on Twitter a second ago say that the universe team talks about everything that they're building, and they said a little less talk, more action. And I just want to highlight to everyone, since February, we dropped non-fungible Pepes. We dropped an extremely technically advanced DAO. We dropped yield farming, which has hundreds of millions of dollars staked with no technical issues. And we dropped polymorphs, which I still have in the opinion that they're the most technically advanced NFTs ever dropped. So try again.
Felt a bunch of shit that we haven't even dropped yet. Like we're still waiting to drop our auctions and minting contracts that we've been working on. Like we're getting those finally audited.
Audits.
Like
And
we're
airdrop
gonna,
coming out. So, and I'm down to let Ali talk about what he's been working on now that Ryan said his piece.
Yeah, and like Tyler said, everything I'm working on is kind of unofficial right now. Like, so it's just, yeah, it is subject to change. But the polymorphs are basically living in an alternate universe than us, in their own like little like realm or universe, pretty much universe if you call it. And they're basically switching between realms, going through parallel dimensions and like going to new lives. And so it all started with this battle where they all spawned into the same realm together, like all seeing each other together. And they all are just mad and confused because they don't like their outfits because they're not matching. And they eventually get in an argument about who looks the coolest. And so they all start fighting with their weapons. And during that fight, they learn that none of them can really be like killed by each other. And so it just like really escalates super far. There's specific people who take or specific polymorphs who take it like too far, I guess. And it eventually leads to like groups forming, and kind of like a ceasefire ends up happening because they can't kill each other. And so during like the ceasefire, they all start like working on like new stuff because they're just getting bored. Like they don't know, they're all stuck in this realm together, don't know why. And so during this time, they all start to, like basically finding like new technology and stuff. And I'm not gonna like get into that really, but that new tech, some of the new technology they develop allows them to scramble, which you guys have already learned about. And so when they scramble, that actually sends them to a new realm. And so that's when that started happening. And a lot of them were ready to get out of there. So like a bunch of them a lot of them just started scrambling right away. Some of them stayed because they were like nervous. Some of them just want to be virgins. They started calling each other virgins when some of them wouldn't scramble. and they were like, we're not going to scramble. And so they're just considered that virgins. Like they don't all call each other virgins, but that's just like a word they use to categorize their group. In the later realms, those are the people who mainly call them the virgins. They'll be like, oh yeah, those virgins didn't scramble. But yeah, so it's basically just like a whole bunch of realms, and they when one of them scrambles, they get sent, and there might be like people in that realm. It's not like they get sent. The only realm where they were all by themselves was the one at the beginning where they all saw each other. But like when they scramble to a new realm, they will see like who knows in that realm. Like it literally could be literally anything. Like every time they scramble it, they just get taken into a new dimension where who knows what could be going on. Yeah, I mean, I could go more into it, like as far as like specifically what's happened to specific polymorphs, but that's more up to the community to tell us about. Like you guys have your polymorphs, so you guys might not realize it, but you know the story behind your polymorph. So it's up to y'all to explain what happened to that polymorph to us. So I have a bunch. I'm gonna get into explaining some of mine like later on once I know more about because there's still stuff that I'm still learning. The polymorphs are still revealing information even to us. And so the lore is still being expanded. It's all unofficial. Even some of the stuff I just said might be subject to change. So that's why Tyler was like kind of nervous about even me saying any of this, because it's not set in stone, and I don't want it to limit what any of you guys wanted the lore to be. So like if you guys think the lore I just said all sucked, feel free to like send what y'all think the lore should be. And like we'll definitely review that and consider what you guys think a better idea is for anything. And yeah, like I said again, I want y'all to expand on the alternate universe idea. So like just tell us like when your polymorph morphed for the first time, where did it go? Like what happened to it? And then yeah, how does it feel about that? That's basically it.
Now, Algie, if I understand correctly, the polymorphic scientists have not discovered everything there is to discover in the polymorphic universe. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. They all work together. They're trying to figure out like every single thing they can do. So there's a bunch they haven't discovered.
We might have to talk to Z
Very
about
exciting.
that. Z knows all about that.
Yeah,
I
Nick's
know,
saying
right.
that some of our devs know little secrets about that they haven't told us yet. But I don't know if you'll learn that info on this call.
They
No
must have
alpha
a
leaks
direct
today.
line.
The devs are
No,
working
alpha
on
leaks.
the devs are working on a lot of stuff that they won't even show me yet.
Z,
Yeah.
what do you think about this?
We really do have some cool ideas that like we still haven't put out there. So I really like the lore. And I love everything that's happening around polymorphs. Like we really didn't expect it to blow up this much, but we're really super excited to like keep building on it because there's like a lot of cool shit coming up.
I also personally think, I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but I've been on Twitter the last few weeks, obviously like everyone else in crypto, but we've seen that the polymorphs are growing on some people out there.
We're having
The
fun.
thing
We're having fun. The reason we asked
Yeah.
everyone who listens to the call is that Z and George, his partner, were the ones that came up with the idea, and they're both devs and advisors on the project, and they could have 100% done this as their own drop on the platform, and they brought it as an idea of something that we could develop on for like the betterment of universe. And so all of our designers worked on all of the artwork based off of the concept. So like they get a super special shout out as all this continues to unfold, because it's a very unselfish move on their part. And it's also like, in my opinion, a dope ass idea. And I don't think George and Zico have gotten enough like love for how all this rolled out.
I appreciate that. But I'm super excited for like proving wrong to everybody who's been banking on polymorphs on Twitter, because like there's a lot of like cool stuff that we're going to continue to build around them.
It's almost funny if you know the alpha.
Exactly.
Best way to prove the haters wrong, baby.
If you know, should just be the tweet.
Yes.
PGMI, polymorph's gonna make it.
PGMI.
Not talking about price here. We're talking about the art.
I'm talking about the tech, baby. That's what me and Z are here for.
I'm here for everything.
The science.
The gene therapy. Let's keep going though. I think we can wrap this up. I know we've got to get on another call after this one to go through some internal stuff.
Yep, I think we've gone over everything. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, repost this on Twitter. We appreciate everyone.
Also, thank you for the support. Everything feels like we're heading in like a special direction. Actually, one thing that I want to bring up to the community to address so that everyone knows to sum this call up, even though I don't want to end on like a sad note. We got a lot of tweets this week about the DCMA stuff that had to do with
Punks.
the CryptoPunks turn to the left, right? We've talked a lot about decentralizing the tech stack and having a DAO run a concept like OpenSea. Nate, who caught a lot of flack, he's my friend. He worked with me at Token Foundry, and I'm a very big fan of him from both a human and technical perspective. So all I want to say is that the DAO is going to have to put mechanisms in place to monitor things on the platform that can hurt the platform. And there's very, very, very nefarious things, not even from like a DCMA perspective, that we're going to have to put mechanisms in place to prevent from happening, and DCMA would be included. And until maybe long-term we build technology that communities can monitor those things, but we're not technically or legally there at that point. So I just want to be very clear that everyone knows that we're going to, when we launch the minting auctions and then later marketplace stuff, we will have committees that are voted in by the DAO that help to moderate content. And there's not a way around it. This isn't you can come post whatever you want in the world. And if we advertise that to the world and the ecosystem and to Twitter, we're going to attract very, very, very nefarious people that would do bad things on the platform. So this is not a silver bullet that is a fix-all that anyone can say whatever they want. We're going to have to put guardrails in place. And if we get a DCMA letter, we're very, very, very likely going to comply with it via that council, right? What? I mean, literally, whoever's running the front end interface. It may not even be us that gets that, right? Like, we don't want the whole system getting shut down because people are posting Nazi propaganda. I don't know where it goes long term. We want to build a system that is uncensorable and communities can govern themselves. But out of the gate, I just want everyone to not advertise that we're a place that you can post whatever you want and it's not going to be monitored in any capacity. We're going to have to put guardrails in place, and they'll be decided and worked on with the community, but it's very ill-advised to post to OpenSea that we can just do whatever we want, or do even plagiarize content. Like that's a problem for even artists, right? So this is just a PSA to everyone in the community that I don't know where that conversation started or where it stemmed from, but we are not like the silver bullet that day one when we launch is going to be a fight against that. It's going to be a long, ongoing piece of tech that is written, and then it's going to be a long, ongoing governance discussion with the DAO and the community and everyone else. The biggest thing is that it will be a community-led decision, but it's
We
not.
gotta get there. I
I
think
don't
the
mean
main
to
thing
end
is,
on a down note. I just saw a lot of things that I was like, I hope this isn't. I hope that people understand what we're actually building, and we will have to moderate the content on the platform.
yeah, and we're gonna have to figure out how to like decentralize it all so that we can make these decisions with the DAO and it not be, you know, not take forever to do. We need to be able to like, so, you know, this is going to be stuff that we got to figure out over, you know, over time. And, but we personally think this is why people are working in decentralization, is to take the leap and try to figure out these things. And, you know, or else, why else will we have innovation if no one's trying to step outside the box and do this, you know? So I think that was a good point, Tyler. I think we can wrap it up there. I don't think, does anybody else have anything to say? Nice.
PGMI.
Thank you,
PGMI.
everybody.
Yeah.
Join us again in 2 weeks for the next project call. Hit like, subscribe, please share.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk to you all
Bye-bye.
soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys.